Formula One fans old and new. Welcome to Finding the Wall, a wholly unserious F1 podcast. I'm Jess, a new but extremely enthusiastic Formula One fan.
And I'm Gabe, who got a very nice figurine replica of Senna's 1994 Williams as a gift after his death. And then my little brother smashed it against the wall.
No!
Yeah. It was nice. It was like I don't know, 7 inches long. Really
so when did you get out of prison?
No, it's just my brother had spent my entire life smashing my toys against the wall. So by that point, I had achieved enlightenment. I was like, it is what are materials things? Material goods and possessions don't mean anything.
Yeah, I guess that's a lesson you learn pretty early when you have a little brother.
It really is. And every time that I tell this story, people look at me like I have this, I don't know, weird childhood where I needed to. No, like you very early on just go, I can't kill my little brother. I love him. So you have to accept that.
So I was the little sister. So I wonder if I was the one that smashed all of my. I was 7 years younger though.
Very likely because he was 4 years younger than me. 4 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Senna, actually, there's something I wanted to ask you about because I heard it twice this weekend after Hungary. Because, spoiler alert, we're yapping about the Hungaroring. I heard two different people, compare Max Verstappen to Ayrton Senna.
In any specific way? Or?
Just in his, the way that, how aggressive he can be. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because I haven't really heard anyone, I don't really hear people comparing other people to Senna.
Yeah.
Because why?
Yeah.
But I two people in one weekend and they weren't having the same conversation.
Yeah. So, I think in general, I don't really hear people comparing greats of one era to greats of another era, other than in the conversation about who's the greatest of all time, which is a kind of a fun but pointless conversation to have. But so I'm not here sitting like telling you why they are the same. But they are very similar in their aggressiveness, especially in that sense of they will attack a corner in a way that will compromise the other driver. Yeah. And it's kind of like on them to decide whether or not to crash, which is both genius and shitty at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of risk.
It's a lot of risk.
I mean, Senna died because of it.
Yeah. So it's like, I think in that way they are very similar. I don't really think that their driving styles are all that comparable. Not that one is better than the other. Like the way that they drive the car is not the same. And also the car is just not at all the same. So it would be very difficult to drive a modern car like Senna drove the old cars, etc. But like in their notion of, if I see a gap that exists, my car will be in that gap.
Or you're not a racing driver.
Right? So in that sense, they're very similar in their approach to overtaking.
Okay.
They are all of them, Senna and Schumacher and Prost and Hamilton. They're all similar as well in a lot of different ways, like their commitment to what they do. Their ability to impose their will on their teams and against their teammates and etc. So in all these other senses, like if you want to be multi-world champion, you're made of a similar stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It is just that on track, they're not always the same.
Yeah. Also, the more reckless you are, the more fun it is kind of to watch.
Yeah.
And it's really fun watching Max drive.
It really is. And it's because I think you see that recklessness, but while also being entirely under control, which is weird to say.
Yeah. I 100% get it.
Maldonado was extremely reckless and he crashed a lot.
Yeah.
And Verstappen would go like, what? There's no way you can make this. And he does. And you go, that's
Lance Stroll is really reckless.
He's really reckless.
But not in a good way.
It's different types. So like you kind of see someone wrangling the car. Not because they're bad, but because their skills allow them to drive the car closer to the limit than anyone else can.
Yeah.
Right? And this is something that Verstappen in this era has really shown. Like he will milk that car
Ew.
for everything that he can possibly
Ew.
get. Sit there with a
And
bucket
the terrible
and a
imagination.
stool.
Ew. But look at me saying something nice about Max Verstappen. The
That's gross.
post-Horner era has definitely begun.
He has come for all.
So what's your one sentence to sum up Hungary?
My one sentence to sum up Hungary is that you spend millions of dollars in planning and strategy and simulations, and the best strategy is an emergency one.
Yeah, the one stop.
Yeah.
One stop. We're doing one stop.
Yeah, and the fact that I'm sure that they discussed it, right? It's not entirely out of the blue. They didn't pull it out of their ass like at the moment, but it's the way that Lando accepted as, sure, why not?
That was so funny.
He was just like-
that was so funny. He was just like, sure.
Yeah, like no one really was expecting it to be that effective and et cetera, right? Not a terrible one. They discussed it. They had an idea of how effective it could be.
Yeah.
But they just threw it out there as like, hey, if we do what we planned, you're going to be fourth, maybe third.
Yeah.
We can try something new. And Lando isn't that like, yeah, like why wouldn't I try something, right? The way that Piastri put it after the race as when you're behind, your risk reward equation is very different. And that's absolutely it. But like Lando wasn't excited.
Didn't Pirelli say that like 2 stops was supposed to be 18 seconds faster or something like that? Like that's why, because I heard people after the race being like, why didn't everybody do 1 stop? And it's like, well, because
what we say in Brazil is that is you're being the engineer of a done construction. You just look at a house that is built and go like, oh, why didn't you do it that way? But it weren't there. Like,
right.
No one did the 1 stop because everybody, when they ran the simulations and during practice, et cetera, was like, the 2 stops going to be better, right? And then after the race, when the person who won the race had a 1 stop, you go, I can't believe that no one, like,
yeah,
it's not how this goes, right?
Well, hindsight 2020.
It was absolutely a emergency strategy that was suggested and accepted as like, here's the thing. Everyone's going to do the thing that we all know they're going to do. Your only shot in this track is to do something different. That is the only thing that you can do. And because you can't stop no times,
right?
Stop 1 time. And then it becomes like, and then it was successful, right? But it is, it is entirely happenstance.
Yeah. Well, my one sentence is, oh, Ferrari. Just, oh, Ferrari. Wow. What a emotional roller coaster this weekend was for Ferrari.
It really was. No, what I thought was interesting was how some people came into the weekend feeling well. Some people came into the weekend not feeling great.
Yeah.
But everybody left disgruntled and sad.
Oh my God, so sad. I have to say, I was a little sad just in general thinking about F1. I was telling you this earlier before we started recording that I'm so sad because of how sad Lewis Hamilton was after this race. Yeah. It like genuinely made me sad for him. Made me sad to watch anything F1 since the race because I'm just thinking, poor Lewis Hamilton. Like I've never, like, granted, I've only been really watching for this season, like, and I've been watching like some of the past seasons, but recently, and I have never seen him as dejected or sad as he looked. Even after qualifying, he said he was useless. So he went into the race already with like a probably terrible headspace and started 12th, ended 12th.
Yeah.
Just after the race, oh my God.
So is Hamilton's, burden the saddest thing about Ferrari this weekend for you? Or do you have like some other like bigger picture stuff?
Also, I mean, Leclerc.
Yeah.
Quali P1 and then came in 4th in the race because the car just stopped going fast.
I was going over the radio messages earlier today. And I thought it was interesting. Again, drivers complain about stuff all the time, right? So you can't really read too much into it. But he started talking about, we're going to lose this race. This stint is very low, is very slow. on lap like 15.
Yeah, early.
Yeah. Again, they do that all the time. It's not reading too much into it, but again, when you are at the end and to see what happened and see him like mad at the car well before anything bad had actually happened, hits very different. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ferrari. They had a bad weekend.
So what do you think? I don't know. What do you think the problem is? as a newcomer to this who has not had to have these conversations a lot.
Jeez.
What do you think is the problem?
Oh my God. I don't even know. So, I mean, I think it's the car.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know how great of a driver Lewis Hamilton is or was and has been. Charles Leclerc is a fantastic driver. And there just keeps terrible things happening to the car. Their strategy is off because the pit wall are clowns. They're off having tea when they should be strategizing. They've had some really good pits, but they also had some really terrible pits. It just seems like there's always something else.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, let's try to fix this, and then something else pops up. It's like you uncover something under the rock, and then you see more and more things under the rock, and it's just like, oh shit, no, and then you just like put the rock back down and walk away. Because they're like, Ferrari is too much of a rock. Let's just leave it there.
It's turtles all the way down, but all the turtles are just turds.
Yeah. Turtles, yeah. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're fantastic drivers.
Yeah.
Like Charles Leclerc is I'm not even a Ferrari like fan. Sorry, Tifosi, but I'm not even a Ferrari fan. But I was even super happy for him when he got pole, and I was like, oh, is Ferrari going to win something this year? And then I should have thought better of that very quickly. And then I was like kind of very disappointed for him when not only did he lose P1, but he didn't even podium. And I think after the race, they said it was some sort of chassis issue or something like floor issue. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I saw at least.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which, takes some of the edge away from especially Leclerc's annoyance throughout the entire thing, because he just assumed that it was a strategy thing that they or tweak, whatever it was. He was being very cryptic on the radio.
Yeah, he was.
And also very mad. And then he was like, no, I had no idea that I just had some kind of damage.
Yeah.
Right? But in a way, it's good to know that you didn't fuck up. In another way, it's just like, are the gods against you?
Yeah, something like someone has hexed Ferrari this year. Like someone has hexed them. Somewhere
in hell, the Lamborghini founder is laughing his ass off.
I think that's it. We need to exorcise Maranello.
Yeah. Somewhere in hell, the Lamborghini founder is going to the Ferrari founder and just laughing.
That's
having
funny.
A wonderful time.
In my head, that's what's happening. It's like they're being hexed by like the Lambo family.
Yeah.
Still, like in somewhere there's like a dark altar.
Yeah.
That has a whole bunch of like Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton with like they're crossed out and everything with candles. That's what's happening.
For a while, I wonder, is it just because they have a British driver, but they've had British drivers before, like a long time ago, but they've had British drivers before, so it probably isn't that. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. They need to send some sort of peace offering to the Lambo family. I'm just like, we're sorry, please unhex us. Please.
We're sorry that we said that we're never going to sell our cars to farmers.
Yeah. Can you tell that story very quickly for people that may not know?
The story very quickly is the origin story of Lamborghini is that, I don't remember the guy's name, but whoever, like Piero Lamborghini, I think
I was going to say the name was Lamborghini.
Yeah, his last name was Lamborghini. The first name I don't remember. He went to buy a Ferrari back, when Ferrari was coming up, and he was a rich farmer. And Enzo Ferrari essentially said, I don't sell my car to farmers. Fuck out of here. Go build a tractor. And the guy got because they made tractors, and he got so mad that he started Lamborghini with the entire, like, it is entirely out of spite.
I love that. That's the type of petty that I am about.
And it worked because
Lamborghinis are so much faster than Ferraris.
No, it's not even like what is the best car, but like he achieved similar status. Maybe not the iconic, legendary status because Ferrari has been doing this for a long time. But like, who's sad about owning a Lamborghini, right? It is
no one.
It is not a it is not a car that like I own this because I can't afford a Ferrari. It is.
Right.
It has written its own name in history as a luxury car brand.
Yeah,
So,
good for them. See,
for them.
I'm all about petty grudges, but I think that there is some sort of monkey's paw.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In like the Lambo mansion or something that's like pointing toward.
I don't think it was a good move for a team that had been cursed for a while now to go and invest on the most cursed Formula One driver of all time in Leclerc. So maybe like that combination just doesn't work.
They just have like bad vibes all around.
Yeah, they added two bad vibes together, and this is what they're getting out. Maybe.
Poor Charles. He was mad. He was like real mad. What did you learn this race?
I learned that weather for the last couple of rounds, and maybe some of them before that, has been fighting against the track vibes, which is very interesting.
Okay.
So,
explain.
So we had Spa, which is usually a very fun race, but it is in no small part because it rains a lot.
Yes.
And then we essentially had a dry race, and it was a boring race.
Yeah, it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like I was talking with my partner last night, and I asked him, I was like, out of all the races we've seen so far, and I think we started in Bahrain, which track could you just lose and not be mad about? And for me, I think it's Hungary. I was just like, yeah, it's fine. Whatever. You know, there was nothing charming to me about the Hungaroring.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Usually the Hungaroring is a less exciting race than it was because of the quality of the track and how it's like the layout and etc. means that you chew through tires a lot.
Well, they call it Monaco without the boats, right?
Yeah, because it's hard to overtake. And part of the hardness to overtake is, the track layout. But the tires are gone really fast because it's a lot of medium speed corners. And it's usually hot as balls when they race there.
And it wasn't this time.
And it wasn't. And because it wasn't, it created more strategic variation that led to some surprising results.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, I sat down fully expecting the top three to be exactly where they were. And for nothing to happen. Yeah. Because that's usually how Hungary goes. But the fact that it was just cold enough and we had because it wasn't chaos because it rained, because it didn't. It wasn't chaos because of an accident, because no one crashed.
There were apparently a couple of drops, though. George the Weatherman Russell
you saw
said
them.
Drops on turn 5.
Yeah. So nothing happened. It is just the track. They also repaved it, so that has something to do with it. But the track didn't chew through tires as the way that it usually does. And that created just enough of an opportunity for strategy to kind of vary a little bit. And it ended up being if not an eventful race, at least a race that I didn't get the feeling, on lap 10 that I already know what's going to happen by the end. And that's cool.
Yeah.
So, weather that usually makes Spa very exciting wasn't there, made Spa boring, and the weather that usually helps Hungary be boring made Hungary more exciting. So I'm intrigued by how much I was thinking about how much the track vibe and their assessment, their classic assessment is just dependent on what the weather is like usually when they race there.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, talking about the Hungary circuit, the Hungaroring, what I learned is that it used to be, because it's a pretty slow track, and I learned that it used to be much faster, and people used to die a lot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when the track was made, and it was the first track behind the quote-unquote Iron Curtain, because it was in Hungary, which was part of USSR. Is that right? Part of USSR? I'm making sure. But they put a track in Hungary, and something like 2 drivers dying every couple of years. Ooh. And so they were going to take it off the circuit because you just can't have people dying all the time. And so they were like, no, please don't take it off the circuit. So they added 2 more turns.
Oh.
So in like the fastest part of the track, they added those turns and made it a slower race so that
Interesting.
And I believe no one has died there since, which is good. But it also made it a very slow track.
Yeah.
But,
Interesting. And it's also, I don't know, there's so much about track characteristics that is interesting because Hungary is not all that short. And you have a track like Austria that is very short, very fast, but for some reason has never really yielded an accident that, as far as I can remember, at least in Formula One, has never yielded an accident that was actually serious. So it is fascinating to think about what is it about the track, because it's not just the speed.
Yeah.
It's not just the speed, it's something else. It's the speed and the characteristics and whatever. So, I didn't know that. It's a good thing to learn.
Yeah, one thing that I like to do, especially since it's my first time seeing all of these tracks, I look up kind of a history of the track, like my partner and I do, and we just kind of watch a little bit about the track before the race. Not too much because I don't want it to spoil like exactly how everything's going to be, but I like knowing the history of the tracks, like how long have we been using it, things like that. Is it an old track? Is it one of those that they just put in a parking lot once a year and mark things off for 3 days? Like
Miami is literally a parking lot.
And Las Vegas is going to be the same way. So yeah, it's interesting. I like learning about the tracks. But yeah, Hungaroring.
But I've been dying to ask you this question for a while. What did you think of the trophy?
Okay. So I was going to bring this up later, but you bringing it up is perfect. So the trophy was beautiful.
Right?
It's gorgeous. And doesn't it take a really long time to make those trophies? I thought it was hilarious at the end when Lando, right before he was about to like pop his champagne, he moved his and Oscar's trophies out of the way because last year, didn't he break Max's trophy?
Yep, he did, doing exactly that. And it is also why everybody knows that those trophies take a long time because they're like, oh shit, we got to do another one. It's going to be 4 months.
Yeah. So they made another one for Max, but in the Red Bull Hall of Fame thing where they have all the trophies, they kept both.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
So they have the broken one. Yeah. They have it kind of propped up next to the unbroken one from last year. I just thought cool. it was so funny just seeing Lando. He grabbed his and he just kind of tiptoed. Put it behind the trophy case, and then he came over and got Oscar's too and moved it back. And I was like, no, grab George's too. He was like, no, I'm not doing that.
No, George is responsible for his own trophy.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful trophy.
It is pretty.
The prettiest one.
It's kind of what I think about when I think of trophy, because some of these trophies are just really abstract and weird. And I did like the trophy from last week. From Spa. I liked it. It was interesting. It looked kind of like anal beads, but it was interesting. But I don't like the trophies that just look like the track.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't like that. I want it to look like a trophy. Do more Lego trophies. That was fun. Do more Lego trophies so that Nico Hülkenberg can get more podiums.
That is true. It is my favorite. It is pretty as hell. And I'm very...
It's ceramic, right? The whole thing, this beautiful, hand-painted ceramic.
It is gorgeous. I'm just very happy that you were not here for the era of a bunch of races that were sponsored by... I don't know, maybe they still exist, but the races that were sponsored by Heineken a few years ago.
Oh, no.
It was a lot of them.
Oh, no.
All of the trophies were the same for those races.
Were they ugly?
Which sucks.
Yeah.
And the trophies...
I like having different trophies because I'm like, oh, what is the trophy going to look like?
And the trophies weren't ugly necessarily, but they were the Heineken star?
Yes.
So if you imagine a cookie cutter that is in the shape of a star, but it kind of extrude it up in the shape of a torch kind of thing. And that's it.
Okay, I think I've seen pictures.
Yeah, and that's it.
Of those.
And it's the same trophy for 6 races throughout the year. And it's this bland, long cookie cutter of a star.
Well, I'd rather have the anal beads then.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I just missed the monkey in Paul Ricard.
But yeah, I loved the trophy. Yeah, it was really beautiful. If you had one of those trophies, what would you put in it?
In it?
Because it's basically just a big urn.
Chicken nuggets.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How many chicken nuggets could fit in the Hungaroring trophy?
That one? At least what? 40? More.
40 is like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, 100 chicken nuggets.
100 chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat them, but I would. That's why I would keep them there.
I would eat them. I would just keep it kind of on my desk.
I would bring it here. Hey, do you want the stale chicken nuggets for my Hungary trophy?
I would keep it on my desk while I was working and just have like, a little snack.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
thank you. I've been wanting to ask you this question for weeks now because I wanted to see what your thoughts were.
Yeah. I like the interesting trophies.
Yeah.
The Monaco trophy is so ugly because it's just a Monaco track. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, Monaco track is iconic and the track itself is beautiful, but it's beautiful because of Monaco and all the boats and everything like that. It's not beautiful because the track shape. It just kind of looks like a weird pancreas. It's like
I will gently disagree. Not say that you're wrong, but I will say that the track layout is, and also my opinion is 100% biased because when I look at just the layout and I see the corners, I go like, oh, I know what that corner looks like.
it is definitely iconic. Monaco's layout is iconic, but I don't think it makes a pretty trophy.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that was a trophy for an F1 race and
Fully.
like if you didn't know that was the track, and you just saw it and you didn't know that it was an F1 track trophy, you would be like, what the fuck is that?
True. But knowing that is an F1 track trophy, I think it makes it beautiful.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, if it wasn't that, it's just like, I don't know what that is. But knowing that it is that, knowing that it is Monaco, I'm like, you know what? Having that, like, I won fucking Monaco. You know how we can tell that? Because this is fucking Monaco right here. Like, it is Monaco.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still take it.
Yeah. Imagine going to the podium like, nah, I'm good.
No, that's an ugly trophy. I don't want it. I don't want it in my house.
Yeah, no, please take that away from me.
It's going to look bad next to my like Kids' Choice Award.
Yeah. Ugh. No, I got driver of the day. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Wait, who got driver of the day this time?
Bortoleto.
Yeah, Bortoleto. Yeah. Good for Bortoleto.
Good for him. He was the star of this race.
Yeah, he was.
He was the star of this race.
Good for Bortoleto. I was very excited for him.
He's been crushing it.
He was so happy.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a really, really good driver.
He has, I think he has the potential. But as shown by Fernando Alonso, the timing and luck and your career choices make a big difference.
Yeah, they do.
So Fernando Alonso was very lucky to join Renault when Renault was like at the peak, because after that he had a chance to win the title here and there. Like, no one has doubted his abilities, but he has never really been close, and a lot of it is just wrong place, wrong time, right? So Bortoleto right now the team has improved a lot, so he has the potential for the rest of the year to keep scoring points. Good for him.
He has more points than Yuki Tsunoda now.
Yeah, so like good.
5 years.
Good first year so far. The team has left he's no longer the worst team on the grid. So he has the possibility of like actually fighting for points for the rest of the year. That's great. And then next year, Audi comes in, like, he's in a good spot right now. The question about like how good and how successful and victorious he's going to be will depend so much on like what he does, how Audi does as a team, what he does with and when he decides to leave the team. Like, it's good to go.
Is he one of the ones that Fernando Alonso manages?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was stuck between his manager and his best friend.
He sure was. But good for him. I'm very excited for him.
And also, as a side note for Brazilian, drivers, the F3 champion is Brazilian crowned that Sunday.
Yay.
Yeah.
Go Brazil.
And look at us. Rafael Câmara. He won the F3 championship.
That's right.
That same Sunday. That's cool.
Shall we get to our championships?
Yeah, speaking of winning.
God
damn it.
Speaking of winning.
I actually won.
Yeah.
So how do you want to start?
Let's start with anger management. Who is your anger management for today?
I was gonna ask you who yours was, but from your face, I feel like you have more to talk about than I do.
No, I'll answer. Like mine is Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to recite his message or should I recite his message?
You can recite the message. I mean, we might be here until tomorrow, but yeah,
feel free to put it in 1.5 speed right now. For Charles Leclerc.
Give me his rant.
On lap 53, he said, "This is so incredibly frustrating. We have lost all competitiveness. You just have to listen to me. I would have found a different way of managing those issues. Now, it's just undrivable. Undrivable. It's a miracle if we finish on the podium." And then he learned that miracles don't happen. They just do not happen.
I saw a really funny joke that said, "Oh, why is your television put vertical?" It's like Charles was angry.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta let it all out.
I also saw a meme where they put it over the Star Wars overlay.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm laughing about it, but that man was mad.
He was angry as hell.
And it's so funny that he's like, you just have to listen to me.
Sometimes I think about what it must be like on the other side, because we hear the drivers complaining a lot about stuff. And there's two things, right? Like in that moment, the race engineer is very much in the position of like a customer success rep. Of like, the fuck do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
What is weird though? Okay, so think about like Lando Norris. They asked Lando Norris. They said, "Hey, can you stay out and do like one stop with you'd have 40 laps on the hard tires. Do you want to do this?" And he said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I feel like they don't ask Charles what he wants to do all that much. Am I wrong? Like maybe they just don't play those over the actual race, but I feel like I see other drivers like Nico Hülkenberg, when he got podium, they asked him what he wanted to do. He told them, and then he did that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd have to look at, all of the radio messages for all of the teams for the race. And
just do that and get back to us.
Yeah. I do think that there's a bias towards playing the funny Ferrari messages because, come on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
We all get a kick out of it.
Yeah, clown show.
But in this specific situation, right now, that we just made fun of with the long radio message, it was also coming from damaging the car that nobody knew he had.
Yeah.
So he was ascribing blame to some strategic decision or setup decision or whatever that just like wasn't there. So at that point, presumably, they were all seeing performance drop and going like, I don't know. Something is wrong. And Leclerc is just sitting there being like, they changed, I don't know, engine maps, right? Like whatever it is that he thought was, because that's the part of the problem. It's just all of the cryptic quality of the messages that he was putting out. Like, we need to be better planning those issues.
He was trying really hard to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
And in those moments, which was funny.
Clearly he thought that this was a problem that they had discussed before, but not enough. When at the end of the day, apparently
that was the floor.
Something else was broken and like they just didn't know. So I don't know. I do think that the Ferrari pit wall has a problem just kind of like actually coordinating things with their drivers, but I don't know if they don't ask them. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it is just they do extremely bad pre-race strategy. Like they're briefing before the race where they actually sit down and go, this is what could happen. These are our options for any of these any of these scenarios. Maybe that's just very bad. And when they actually try to discuss that on the radio, they fail at doing that effectively. Right?
Yeah.
So who knows? One day we should actually pick a race and just like put on the Ferrari.
We should.
Just like, I want to listen to Ferrari.
We should, because you can follow a driver and you'll hear everything, right?
Yeah. We could actually do that like for silly season, because it's not going to be a race, so I can come over on a Sunday and we just sit here and rewatch any of the previous races. But like, I want to just watch Hamilton.
Yeah.
And just see how it is. We can pick a happy one. Doesn't have to be a sad one.
I'm interested in hearing what they're saying to Hamilton because
Yeah.
the comms to Hamilton get discussed a lot because they're like, why aren't they telling him these things? What is the miscommunication? Like, how is this happening with the best engineers and the best racing driver in the world? Like, what is going on? And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes people just can't communicate properly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very curious. I hope that they figure out what is really preventing Hamilton from performing well at Ferrari.
Me too.
Because I want to read his biography when he retires and see like that's what the problem was.
It's gonna almost be like a tell-all.
Right? Like if they fix it, it's
give
gonna
him
be
the Pulitzer right now.
If they fix it, it is gonna be a very interesting story of assuming that the story is gonna be truthfully told.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a really interesting story about like these are the challenges that I faced. This is what we did to fix all of that. And maybe he gets another.
Someone's literally writing that right now.
Yeah, but they don't know.
They're writing the first part.
Yeah.
Here are the problems.
Yeah, I want to see I want to see him, or I don't know, Leclerc's biography. I don't care. Or like whatever. Someone just goes, because Schumacher turned Ferrari around. He literally did that. It took years. Like he joined Ferrari in '97, I think, and the first few years were trash. And then 2000 to 2007 dominated, right? So Ferrari has had bad periods before. I don't know if it's going worse than this one, but like it has been there. It has been a massive team that was fixed through the right people getting there and getting their hands dirty, whatever.
I hope Hamilton's autobiography is called The People's Princess. I really hope it is. Lewis Hamilton, The People's Princess. I'll write it for you, Lewis. Let me know. I'm very funny.
Call us.
Ish. Speaking of...
Speaking of being very funny-ish?
No, speaking of Lewis Hamilton, the most cursed.
Most cursed?
Most cursed for me this race was Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
I felt it. I felt it like during the race. I felt it after qualifying. I felt it during the race. After the race, he kept his helmet on, which he does a lot because he doesn't like people like seeing the emotions on his face. But not only did he keep it on, he was covering up with his gloves. He kind of had his gloves like up here so you couldn't even see. And there was at least a point where he had to reach into his helmet. So I was just like, is Lewis Hamilton crying? Like, I am going to break down right now. Like, I don't know why it affected me so much that this man, something broke.
Yeah.
In that man this weekend.
The moment that stuck for me is none of the interviews saying that they need to change the driver, saying that he is the problem. That I took that as like, yeah, okay, it happens. The moment for me was at the end of the race, someone's like, so plans, whatever, and he just said, I just want to get out of here. Which again, as a statement, fine. But then the stewards were investigating the thing with his incident with Verstappen. Yeah. And he didn't show up. He didn't go. And like, it didn't make me sad, but that for me was like walking the walk. Yeah. Because up until the point, he's just saying that he's very sad and sure, okay. I'm not doubting it, but I'm also not feeling for you. But when he just go like, I'm not even gonna.
He waived his right to appear.
Yeah. It's just like he was home.
Yeah.
Right. He bought a new house in Hungary, like 10 minutes from the track, just so he could go home immediately after that. And it's just like, no, but you can get. I don't care. Yeah. I do not care.
I am so glad that he gets a break. I'm sure that he has a therapist that is very busy right now. I just want Lewis Hamilton to be happy again. That's all I want. I just want him to be happy again. They don't even have to like win all the races. I just want Lewis Hamilton to be happy again. Because I mean, Ferrari is not my favorite team, and I'm a McLaren girly. I've talked about this. I love Oscar Piastri, but how can you not root for Lewis Hamilton?
I can do that.
Well, from me.
Oh, for you.
For me.
I don't know how you could.
I don't know how I could not root for Lewis Hamilton because I think he's a fantastic driver.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I mentioned to you before that even in my stance of all 20 of those men are sociopaths. And I defend that point. Like
Yeah.
they're all
Yeah.
they're all sociopaths.
It's kind of like billionaires. You don't get to that point without being kind of a dick.
No, you have to have something like
fundamentally wrong with you.
Misshapen inside of you. That being said, I do think that Hamilton is in the lower rungs of the sociopath ladder, right?
And I feel like he tries to use his prestige for actually good things. Like he's super into fashion, but he also like but he really likes to wear up and coming black designers, and he tells everybody about these black designers, and then that could like launch their careers. Yeah. He gives so much money to charity. Like I don't know.
So the interesting thing about that is if Hamilton was a soccer player, again, high level elite or athlete, but in a different sport. If he was a soccer player, the discourse around it would 100% be that he is wasting too much of his time and attention with off the pitch stuff instead of, practicing and training and whatever. And I'm not saying that that's the case, but I do think it's interesting how, because the expectations of a Formula One driver are so different. Yeah. The fact that he's involved, like the fact that he was a movie producer.
Yeah.
Right? Is never comes up as like, why is this performance dropping? And no one, I'm not saying that they should, but the fact that no one ever goes, does he really have to be a movie producer? How much time is that taking? How much energy is that taking? That's
interesting. I've never even thought about that.
Yeah. And it's interesting to me because in soccer, that is one of the parameters by which a professional athlete is judged, is like how many side gigs and hobby, like, are you appearing in too many commercials? Are you appearing in too many events? That's the problem with one of the many problems with Neymar. Not to get sidetracked, like Neymar is just always at a party. And everybody's just like, you are an athlete. Go home. Go to sleep. Right? Like, go to sleep, eat well, don't drink, perform nicely. And no one says that about Hamilton. And I don't know if it's fair or unfair. It's just, as a soccer fan as well, it strikes me as like, oh, that is always missing from that.
Huh. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Like, maybe it doesn't matter, but maybe it does.
Maybe.
I do not know.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. He's co-chairing the Met Gala when he should be at home sleeping.
Right, like, go to the sim.
Don't skip neck day.
Don't skip neck day. Go to the sim.
Every day is neck day.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I just...
Go home and write your autobiography.
Go home, call Jessica so she can write your autobiography. I will write your autobiography. Yeah.
It'll be called The People's Princess. What about the Cuntiest comms?
No, my most cursed is not actually Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, so
it is,
back it up. Back it up.
Well, I don't have to back it up.
Back it up. Nope, we're backing it up.
We don't have to back it up all
Gabriel?
that much. Oh, let's back up. I'm sorry, she's being threatening me. Listener?
Knife. Gabriel, what about your most cursed?
My most cursed is Lewis Hamilton teammate, Charles Leclerc.
Oh. I knew it had to be a Ferrari.
No, it 100% had to be a Ferrari. There were more cursed people in this. Like, Colapinto was absolutely cursed this race.
Yeah, he was.
But the fact that he had it, he lost it.
Yeah.
He got very mad about losing it.
Yeah, he did.
For the wrong reasons.
Okay.
He didn't even get to feel righteous rage. He got to feel rage that was immediately proven wrong, for which he had to apologize afterwards. And that is just like, imagine you're sitting there, just like, it is everyone else's fault. And then you get out of the car and someone comes to you and goes, it was no one's fault. And you've been publicly bashing everyone for an hour, and you go, I am very sorry for my previous statements. I didn't know that the floor was damaged.
He should just say, like he said before, I am very stupid.
Yeah, I think that for me was the thing that it really clinched. It's just like, he didn't even get to feel mad.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is it that we're laughing at Charles Leclerc being so cursed, but we actually genuinely feel for Lewis Hamilton when Charles Leclerc has also had those sad Lewis Hamilton eyes many, many, many times?
So I think the answer to that question lies within you, because I don't feel bad for either of them.
I'll have to answer that question for myself then.
Yeah,
I'll search in my soul and
I think you should search in your own soul.
Why do I feel? Why did Lewis Hamilton being so sad literally make me a bit depressed for him? And then Charles Leclerc, I'm just like, that's Charles. That's par for the course.
Yeah,
Charles Leclerc.
The answer to that question for you and whoever else is listening to who might be in the same predicament lies within you.
Yeah. Look within.
Yeah, because I don't. Again, I understand the weight and the pressure. And like I can kind of feel for them, but it doesn't impact me.
Yeah.
I've again been doing this for a long time.
That's very true.
So it's fine. It's gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine.
I'm not nearly as jaded as you are.
No,
about
you're
all
nowhere
of the
near
drivers.
as jaded as I am.
But they are all quadrillionaires. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they will all be fine.
They'll be fine.
It's gonna be okay.
Now, Cuntiest
we
comes.
can actually move on. My Cuntiest come goes to Charles Leclerc, who has very cryptic feelings. And
is it part of his long rant?
No, it came before that. He said, I can feel what we discussed before the race. We need to discuss these things before doing them. And I love, again, going back to this notion of being righteously angry, but they can't talk about what it is. So he's just like dropping hints and going, that thing that we talked about, let's never do that thing that we talked about. Okay? Because if we do that thing that we talked about, then I can't do the other thing that we talked about. And the need to not just go like, I hate this front wing setup. Because he couldn't say what it was.
They should have code words for these things.
There's a lot of code words.
Yeah, but it's like, we're not going with eagle. We're going with barn owl.
Yeah, sometimes
instead,
they do.
You know?
Sometimes they do. Like, do you want to plan yellow? Whatever. Sometimes they don't.
Do that.
And it's very funny to me that in the middle of all that, he can't just tell them what the problem is, which also in my brain goes, oh, is it something illegal that you're doing?
Who was it that tried to say that the Ferraris were doing something illegal because they were so fast?
It was the official steward of Formula One, George Russell.
George Russell, of course. Of course it was George Russell. I shouldn't have even asked.
He was making the argument that
the Ferraris are just too fast.
The argument that I saw him making after the race is that there was something wrong, that they were running a very low setup, like lower than it should be, and that when they measured that the plank was grinding down too much, they needed to put tires with a higher pressure in Leclerc's car, which then ruined the performance.
Okay.
So like that was Russell's assessment after the race, talking to Mercedes. They're like, we should investigate that car because I think they were running too low because there's too many sparks coming out of the car and etc. And when they compensated by having a tire with more pressure than normal to lift the car up. And when he lifted the car up, he lost performance.
Of course, it was George Russell. I love him, though. He's still my favorite. Well, he's not my favorite. Oscar Piastri is my favorite, but he's my favorite little bitch.
He is absolutely a little bitch.
He's my favorite little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
My
so
Cuntiest,
who was your Cuntiest?
It was Pierre Gasly this time for the first time.
Wow. Congrats to Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, congrats, Pierre Gasly.
He's winning something this year.
Yeah.
Wow. That was me.
Well, when when he hit the Williams car, he was like, or when the Williams car hit him, I guess would be, he was just like, we're not in kindergarten here. And I was just like, all right, what was that about? But yeah, I guess like driving like babies.
Driving like babies. We're all it's the pro clutching is always amazing to me.
Yeah.
They all do that. And
how
they
dare
always
he
go, how
hit
good?
Me?
This is this is Formula One.
This is the pinnacle of motorsports.
Right? I can't believe that one would have such a disregard for their fellow competitors like this.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. But yay, congratulations, Pierre Gasly.
Pierre
It might be the only time that he gets the championship. But yeah.
So next category.
What about the best overtake?
The best overtake for me was Verstappen on Stroll turn 4, I think, into the chicane.
Nice.
Because the thing that I was concerned about with this category for this race is that a lot of overtake. This is absolutely a turn 1 DRS enabled overtake, and maybe one of them can be good, but most of them are not going to be. So I was kind of looking for an overtake that was outside of turn 1, and Ferrari just and Verstappen just dove on the inside into the chicane on turn 4. And that was a pretty move. It was nice.
Verstappen had a bad weekend.
He had a very bad weekend. But it was kind of, their car is not good at that. And he also, weirdly, he's not good at Hungary. Weird. Right? But he is not good at Hungary. Their car is not good at that kind of like medium speed corners. So it was never going to be a good weekend for them.
Well.
Oh, who's yours? Who's the best overtake?
My best overtake was, and it wasn't Oscar Piastri.
Whoa.
Which I know everybody's like, oh, it's going to be Oscar Piastri. No, it was George Russell in lap 62 when he overtook Leclerc.
What made it good for you?
Well, because I'm a George Russell fan.
Yeah.
I like that. And it was interesting because I was kind of like, yeah, George, yeah, get up, George. And then I'm like, oh.
It was kind of a whimper.
That means Leclerc is now in 4th, and he's not going to take it back. He's not. The car was just losing performance. Yeah. And
he was unquestionably overtaken.
Yeah.
It
wasn't really hard.
No. At the moment, when they go into turn 1, you know that Leclerc is never catching Russell again.
No,
so
he's not.
He fought as illegally as he could. So congrats to him.
Congratulations.
From really trying to cause an accident in order to not lose the podium. But it didn't work.
Yeah. So. But yeah, go George Russell, P3. George does nothing, P3.
Does nothing.
Does nothing,
P3. That's the year that he's at.
But we did get another meme moment out of it where they have the camera on someone else, and then he just kind of strolls through the camera from one side to the other, completely takes focus. They had the camera on Lando, and up on the podium, and George Russell just walks by with his. It's so funny. I love those. Keep those coming. Best wall found.
The best wall found is the wall of knuckles in Isaac Hadjar's hands, found by all the pebbles.
All those pebbles.
Man.
I feel...
you know what? That makes me feel bad for a driver.
That has to hurt like a
so
bitch.
Much.
That has to hurt so bad.
That sucks.
And he was real grumpy afterwards, too. I bet his hand was really hurting.
Yeah, for a while, I was like, I wonder if he's just going to stop.
Yeah, did it break something?
Right? I don't know. Thankfully, he's fine.
Yeah.
It was just what I have to assume is in man's pain.
I can't imagine a rock hitting your little fingers, your little phalanges.
God, so bad.
Because their fingers aren't super protected. They're just wearing their gloves.
Yeah.
Which thankfully they're wearing their gloves. But 200 miles per hour rock coming at you, no, thank you.
Yeah, because it is the speed. Because the pebbles were thrown back by the car, so they have their own speed, and then he's also going 100.
Yeah.
So it's you add, oh man, that hurts.
Yeah.
That
Poor
hurts.
Isaac Hadjar. I hope your hand's okay.
So that's the best wall found, is the pebble that found the knuckles on Hadjar's hand.
That should have been mine. I forgot about him getting hit by those rocks, because he was also very angry this race.
God, yeah.
You don't really see him being all that angry. It's he was mad. He was almost my Cuntiest comms.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because he was just kind of yelling in his little French accent. It's hard to take so seriously though.
Mad at the Hawks.
He's just so mad, but it's still in French accent. Same way when Charles Leclerc gets mad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we don't have as much sympathy for him, is because he has a French accent.
I don't know if Bortoleto ever gets mad, I'll be like, shut up.
Yeah, curse in Portuguese or don't curse at all.
Yeah.
Come on, Bortoleto. But my best wall found was how Oscar Piastri almost found the wall of Lando Norris's back end.
Leading to yet another very cunty com.
Yeah, which was remember how we go racing.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Gabe?
You bring the fucking car home. I don't care what happens.
You better bring that fucking car home.
You have exactly one clause in your contract. And that clause says, you bring the goddamn fucking car home. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do love how McLaren just lets them race.
Yeah.
They let them race. That's great. But we all know what remember how we go racing means.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, watch that, Oscar. We can't be doing that again. Remember how we go racing.
There's not much else to admire about him, but I do admire Zac Brown's sphincter.
Yeah.
Because if I was managing those shoes and seeing like how there's been one accident so far that thankfully only took one car out.
Yeah.
The person was
and
in the
Lando
wrong,
was
so, like,
fine. Yeah.
cool. And then they had at least 2 other close calls, one in Austria and this one with Piastri almost hitting Lando. And I do admire it, like, I trust you to not fuck this up, right? Because it would be so fucking easy to not do that.
Yeah.
In for safety, right? And for the good of McLaren as a team and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It'd be really easy to not do that. And the commitment to, I want you to race, just keep in mind that you don't hit each other.
Bring the fucking car home.
Which other teams have tried to do has always failed.
Yeah.
It has every single time that 2 teammates were fighting for the championship has always failed. And so far, it's going well, right? And I gotta give it to him, the commitment to sticking to that and managing. Like, I don't care. I don't know what they said to Piastri after the race, because I imagine they said something, but I also imagine they don't have to go like, "Hey, we talked about," like, he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows. But then you have a race like, "Hey, good race, clean race. I'm happy for Lando, sad for you, whatever. We can move on. Just remember, keep it clean, bring the car home."
But we don't see like the person that they have hired to go like stand at the bottom of their bed with like a knife.
Yeah.
It's just like, you better bring that fucking car home. No, they just wearing a shirt that says, "Remember how we go racing," and just like holding a knife over their bed at all times.
Yeah, because it's like they're both young. Their team has been ascending. Neither of them really wants to risk their standing at the best team.
No.
Why would you?
And they're both kind of equally matched.
Yeah.
They're really equally matched when it comes to racing. So.
Yeah. So.
Sphincter of steel, that Zac Brown.
Steel, Zac Brown. that man's poop comes out polished.
No, we're stopping this conversation. Absolutely not.
Perfectly cylindrical.
Shut up. I hate you so much. I've never hated anybody more in my entire life. Changing the subject.
Whoa, let's change the subject to something better.
Yeah. Did you know that I have another podcast?
You do have another podcast. I had forgotten about it. Tell me more.
Yep. So in my day job, I'm a producer in the video game industry, and I have another podcast called Stupid Little Games. It's where we talk about all things gaming from the inside out. And each week I sit down with various insiders from the game industry. We talk about our current gaming obsessions. We tell stories from projects past and present. And then we play a stupid little game that I write specifically for each guest. So search for Stupid Little Games wherever you get your podcasts, and it's on this same Stupid Little Podcast network.
Hell yeah, it's a good podcast.
Oh, yeah. For this podcast, if you could please like and subscribe, that would be rad on whatever app that you are listening to this podcast right now. It really helps us out because we're still kind of a new podcast. And tell your friends that if they like F1, they might like the Finding the Wall Unserious F1 podcast. A review goes a really long way. So yeah, thanks to everybody who's already done that. You are absolute champions. They're the actual champions.
They are the actual champions.
And you can follow me on Blue Sky. I am at caketease.bsky.social. I'm also caketease on Instagram. And yeah, I talk about F1 a bit. I talk about video games a lot, and we have a good time. So you can't follow Gabe.
No, if you follow me, I'll throw pebbles at you.
Right at your hands.
Right at your hands.
Gabe is nowhere.
I am nowhere to be
Yet
found.
everywhere. You were everywhere, yet nowhere. How about you, Gabe? Do you have anything to tell us at the end of the episode?
I do. I want to tell you about who makes this.
Yes, tell us about who makes the episode.
Do you want to know about who makes this?
I would love to know about who makes this.
Well, this podcast is part of the Stupid Little Podcast Network. It is hosted and edited by Gabe Koski and Jasper Dew. The theme music is by the super talented Baird Russell. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you after the silly season.
After the silly season. Zandvoort is the next one, right? Zandvoort.
Uh-huh.
In the Netherlands.
Do you know anything about that track?
I know nothing about that track. I know zero about Zandvoort. I'll look up some things, but I know it's in the Netherlands.
It is in the Netherlands. By the beach.
That's all I know.
It's by the beach. It's cool.
Well, have a great silly season, everybody, and we will talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.